Actually, since we were young, all of us, my siblings, we don't have the head for figures, dollar and cents.
Welcome back to our episode 8, part 2, Safe Space podcast by Women and Wealth Workshop. Today I'm with no other than my Cikgu Al-Quran, Cikgu Nor'azah.
I used to be a nutritionist with a multinational company for over 20 years before I left the company in 2014 to become a full-time Quran teacher. If you talk about the financial aspect, before I left, I did have some buffer. But after some time, you begin to think that this buffer is diminishing. As usual, you talk to Allah. I was diagnosed with breast cancer stage 4 in October 2023. When I did my biopsy, it was confirmed breast cancer.
So it makes sense that ini susah bisnes, tapi dimudahkan in nama manusia tu berlaku sekarang.
Betul.
So then, when you came into Women and Wealth, you already have all this literacy. You know, you already have, like you said, Allah dah makbulkan banyak benda. But what made you come into the program? What were you looking for?
It's because of the thought that if the treatment prolonged, I would need a cover to cover the treatment. So I need to invest more to get more income for the future me. So that's why I thought of you. I didn't have the head of any platform. Belajar
Ada your friends mesti ada kan?
Ada. Tapi I was looking at more than 5% return.
You had a goal already in your mind. Now that you've gone through the program, you have found the platform that you're going to invest in. And the best thing right now is because you have the bullet, liquidity. Sekarang nak tembak mana? Kita dah bagi you banyak syariah platform waiting for your hasil ni untuk membesar and finally grow and harvest the fruit of your labor. Going forward, maybe the future you 10 years from now, do you think that you'll be happy that you've taken the decision now to really invest despite whatever that you're going through in your personal life?
Yes, I think it's really worthwhile to join you. I learned a lot, even from the module 1 formation. It made me realize that actually, since we were young, all of us, my siblings, we don't have the head for figures, dollar and cents. I realized my cousin dari primary school lagi duk jual some color pencils that the parents bagilah, are not business minded. We didn't really put a lot of thought in terms of investment, especially. As I go along, since I started working, all my investment depend on when people approach me. Like
Unit trust lah ni.
unit trust, insurance. I remember my first insurance was endowment when I first started working. And then bila unit trust datang approach, then jenis, when you don't have the head for that, you don't monitor and you just let it be. Once finally you realize that you need to look at it, and when you look at it, you found out that it's better that you save your money in Ep.8. You get better return than the unit trust.
Sebab because of the fund selection, also sebab tak monitor.
Dan tak monitor.
Okay, tak apa, masa tu kita boleh settle. Memang insyaAllah. Because when I look at you guys, I still find it surreal that you are going through all these health condition, tapi macam bila tengok depan-depan ni, dia macam relax je. Macam mana cikgu boleh sampaikan pesanan orang dekat luar yang have that financial worry because maybe they don't have insurance or takaful. Maybe they are employed and not an employer like you. Jadi dia banyak sangat worry. Dia punya worry tu, of course dengan condition, lagilah dia fear. Macam mana kita nak bagi diorang ni semangat? Because so many people out there are suffering silently, especially women.
One thing I think memang kena buat persediaan lah financially. Dari segi financially, especially bila the future us, in case apa-apa jadi, just like me lah. Bila dah didiagnose macam ni, baru found out that the insurance actually is not big coverage as I thought it would be.
And you only realise when you wanted to use it.
Right.
And dah beli lama dah ni?
Beli lama dah.
Preparation apa lagi?
Sebelum apa-apa jadi kat you need to make preparation. Insurance, kena make sure that itu betul-betul enough for you in case something happen to you. Saving, after I learned from cohort 6, you said, remember that A and B and C?
The seesaw concept,
Yeah, the
right?
seesaw concept. Kalau before, saving tu ada, tapi I was an avid traveller. I spend much of my money travelling. Saving tu ada, tapi tak banyak. So now, I'm better at it.
Oh, Masya Allah. So dari segi preparation, kena ada insurance or ada Islamic takaful, have the right coverage, savings. What about personal, mental and spiritual adjustment?
To me, when you have a high dependency on Allah, when your tawakal is tinggi, actually you trust and you yakin Allah will help you. Allah will help you actually. Just like I told you this morning what happened kan. I'm actually inspired by arwah Prof. Kamil, the writer of book Travelog Haji, Mengubah Sempadan Iman. I have been a fan of him, all his books. I'm amazed on his lifestyle. It's like 24 hours of his life. He relate it all to Allah, all to Allah. There was one time when he was teaching at Madinah at one time for a few years because he had this intention to die in Madinah, but he didn't get it. But kat sini, the first time he went, the immigration wrote his name wrongly. Instead of Kamil, they put it Kamal or something. So bila dia dapat his first check, dia nak bank in, dia tak dapat buat. What he did, he didn't like run to the embassy ke apa, but he went to a few banks, semua reject him. Minta dengan Allah. The lesson is, even the smallest thing that happened, you minta dengan Allah. The next day, he went again to the main bank, and there were 3 officers, servicing officers, and Allah gerakkan dia pergi to the middle one. And the minute he said he was from Malaysia, this officer was said, Malaysia, I've been to Malaysia before. So he about Malaysia. Prof said I had to entertain him for about 20 minutes talking about his visit to Malaysia. But in the end, he stamped on the form and he got.
Because Allah gerakkan.
He's really an inspiration. Whatever happened, dia sakit buah pinggang stage 5. Bila he knew that his time was not long, dia kata one day he really cried, and he said not because dia takut nak mati ke, sebab dia tahu mati tu akan datang. It's more because of banyaknya yang Allah dah beri, yang Allah dah permudahkan hidup dia walaupun dia sakit. Allah mudahkan bagi kawan-kawan yang dapat jumpa specialist, senang. Just like me, when I was diagnosed, I have friends who suggested do this. I have a friend that can do this. And even I remember when I told my siblings in our family group, my sister said, you're very lucky, you have people around you that are expert in the field.
Rezeki ni kalau kita buka mata, it's beyond than just money. Only if we look beyond dollars and cents, right? Wow, masyaAllah, I'm learning a lot from you. You're still my cikgu 2025, masih lagi ya, from 2018. I have one last question, cikgu. Going forward, right, how's life like for you? What's your plan from this point onwards? Because banyak orang, social media lah banyak orang dah hilang harapan tau, sebab mungkin tawakal tu belum ada. Maybe berasbab you are sharing, dia akan mula percaya balik dia. Tapi going forward, how is it going to be for you, and how can you drive all these people, especially women, to follow your footsteps?
Actually, my actual plan is I'm going to change my base to Muar soon.
Oh, are you? Yeah, boleh jumpa saya Sadiq dengan Bella.
Tak, Bella nak nyanyi lagu apa?
Lagu yang you suka.
Oh, memang lagu patriotik lah jadi malam ni.
Boleh lah.
Muka kena paksa.
Lepas raya kot, because for fasting I still prefer it here because I'm used to the tarawih environment.
Saya Syafati Masjid Bulang.
Plan is to go back. That was the first plan actually when I found my big why, kan nak balik anak-anak kampung. The plan is to go back, but at the same time I still want to give back to the society in any ways possible. From me, apart from the center, we also teach outside, like rumah anak yatim pun ada, Amanah Ikhtiar Malaysia. These are trusts for women to start a business by getting a loan from this amanah. There was a viral story about this makcik yang being divorced with a lot of kids left by the husband, and like she nearly the minute that she poured the poison into the periuk, the mother came and the mother said, have you lost your mind? Have you don't have any faith? Lepas tu the kawan ajak her to join this AIM. She made a loan, she sewa a kebun and tanam pandan, and now she's a millionaire of pandan.
Oh yeah, I saw that news.
Right.
Oh, that's the one.
Right.
And she got the financing first from AIM.
Right. AIM is one of the women association that I'm involved with. A few of them in Muar, we also have AIM, and here in PJ, we also had AIM Damansara Utama.
So basically, for those yang ada loss of income, can always explore AIM to reset and restart.
Yeah.
What would be your advice to aspiring founders yang tengah loss? You know lah, business ni volatile, dia lain luar biasa. Memang iman semua tu bergoncang.
To me, don't lose this tali with Allah. That's the first one. No matter how susah, no matter what challenge you are going through in your business, if you have this tawakal yang tinggi, confidence yang tinggi, Allah will help you. Talk to Him. By the way, I just joined this like a short course called Raise Your Dua. The intention then was to prepare myself to go into Ramadan being more sober. Then raise your dua. You can talk to Allah in a better way rather than just a doa. You have a list, Ya Allah, give me this, give me that, give me this. Right. The way you talk to Allah is more, okay, you can tell your situation, this is my situation, Ya Allah. But at the same time, Alhamdulillah, because of this challenge, you give me the opportunity to do this. You ask for what you want to maybe solve your problem in business, and at the same time, at the end of it, don't forget to share to Allah what's the impact if Allah give you.
Who will benefit from this intention?
Yes, and this I just learned from this short course based your doa, that if Allah give you this, what would you do? What impact will you do?
So hence the meaning of surah Al-Mulk lah, memberi manfaat.
Betul. Untuk menguji kamu siapa yang berbuat baik.
Dia macam fireworks tau in my brain. Dia macam pum 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 pum. Sebab tu orang kata the Quran is always the divine source. More than enough guidance.
But at the same time, you still have to put an effort.
Kena usaha lah, jangan.
Betul. Sebab Allah kata dia tak akan ubah nasib sesuatu kaum kecuali kaum itu mengubahnya sendiri. You trust in Allah, but at the same time you have to tie your camel.
Oh, itu sangat betul. Because orang selalu kata kalau Allah boleh selesaikan segalanya, kenapa tak doa je? Kenapa dia tak fix kan? Tapi tak, that's not the way. Jalan ke syurga bukan percuma.
You cannot assume you will go to heaven just by mengaku beriman. Ayat 2 surah Al-Ankabut. Pasti akan diuji.
Tengok best tau episod hari ni kita boleh kenal Al-Quran juga. Cikgu, I just want to thank you Cikgu, and maybe for everybody's reference so that everybody knows and everybody would visit Al-Baghdadi Muar, ada 2 Merlimau dan juga Petaling Jaya section 14 where I was raised.
If I may share, Merlimau, I get it for free. This guy, 1 year ago, maybe engineer, he works offshore with oil and gas, and he intended to give away his shop lot, first floor, either for tuition or Quran teaching, like kelas mengaji. He told me he called a few places around his place, Merlimau, and ada yang tak angkat, ada yang dah tutup after COVID kan. Then it crossed his mind that Muar is not that far, it's only like less than half an hour away, why don't I search in Muar? And he searched in Muar and he found me, and the day that I went to see the place, tak banyak cakap, he straight away gave me the key without black and white, any agreement or whatsoever. And with such high trust, I really appreciate what he did to us. So now in Merlimau, after a year, we had about 60 students.
Alhamdulillah, semoga that hamba Allah dimurahkan rezeki berganda-ganda also for you, because use his space untuk memberi manfaat mengajar Al-Quran kan, masya-Allah. So with that, Cikgu, I want to thank you, and I pray you're always in our prayers and alongside our cohort 6 sisters, and try about your well-being. And every time cohort cakap pasal riba, I will always mention your name. And now that because you are a part of Women and Wealth, lagi I mention your name. I always say jangan pelekehkan the impact that you're going to give to other people. It's just a matter of time.
Betul. Incidents like this, Aisyah, that makes me feel that all the blood, sweat and tears really worthwhile to choose what I choose to do now.
Because of your jihad and hijrah, it inspired me. And because it inspired me, you have built a tribe, whether you realize it or not. Kita dah ada 130 students yang berasbabkan riba. Bermula dengan riba. So I really want to thank you. Semoga Allah memberkati segala pengorbanan cikgu. Semoga cikgu diberikan kesihatan dan recovery dan boleh berjalan lagi untuk kita sebarkan Al-Quran and Islam, insyaAllah. So with that, we've come to the end of today's episode. If you like this episode and you have any suggestions or questions, please drop a comment below, and for future collaborations you can email us at marketing@aisharahman.com.